3rd November is the International Stress Awareness Day. We all talk about the stress that is constantly present in our lives, but we hardly do anything to see how we can best address this stress or deal with it in a much better way. Stress may be defined as a state of being overwhelmed and unable to cope with the mental and emotional issues arising out of the existent conditions in our lives. Suffice to say that these are conditions that we look at as bad, unwanted, unacceptable, and yes, at times truly difficult. COVID has brought to the forefront what stress, acute stress, can do to us, but it has also given us the opportunity to see how we can reset our mind, body, lives, and emotions in order to focus on what is more important to us. If we actually look at it, a lot of the issues and health conditions that exist today are related to stress and lifestyle factors. There are very less conditions that actually are only related to something external that the body cannot face if we are not in a condition of homeostasis. If we are in a condition where the body is being self regulated, most of the issues, maybe illnesses, infections, we would be able to ward off. The same is the condition with infertility. There is a chronic stress today in so many couples, so many women, which probably inadvertently is leading to an increase in infertility that is happening across the globe. Well, it could be hectic life schedules, it could be stress at work, relationship factors, inability to give our spouses and partners adequate amount of relaxed time, anger, comparison, competitiveness. All this gives rise to a lot of disharmony in the correct hormones that need to be in our body, increasing the hormones which actually will cause a chronic stress in the body and many tissues in the organ. Actually, if you look at it, progesterone, which is one of the most important hormones, which is important for pregnancy and conception, is a hormone which causes relaxation. It causes relaxation of the uterus, of all the smooth muscles in the body, because it is trying to get the body into a relaxed state in order to get the conception. So, pregnancy and conception is all about receiving. But in our hectic life schedules and the stress that not only comes along with it, but at times which we impose on ourselves, is actually getting your body out of the mode that the body needs in order to have a conception. Maybe it is a high time that we start addressing these chronic stress factors in our lives. Maybe we should start getting more health oriented instead of disease oriented. We should start caring more for our bodies, for our minds, for our relationships, for our environment, for everything for that matter, in order to make sure that we create the world that we want to bring our children into. How is it that we can create this? How can we bring self regulation? How can we bring homeostasis? And how do we define homeostasis in medicine? It is a condition where the body is completely self regulating itself to create an environment that gives health to the body. An environment where all your organs and your tissues are in complete synchronicity with each other to maintain health, happiness, and goodness and well being in your life. It is we who are getting out of this state. It is we who are creating conditions for ourselves where homeostasis cannot be maintained in the body. So, how can we actually get to this? There are a few factors which I would like to mention: nutrition, Nutrition is not really about just dieting. Sometimes it just becomes synonymous is how to do caloric restriction. Caloric restriction is not nutrition. Understanding what foods will feed your body, will feed your mind, will feed your brain, will feed your soul, that is the basis of nutrition. Good sleep, healthy emotions, great relationships. Movement. What is movement? Maybe movement that you do in yoga, where there is a smooth flowing movement. Dance, if people love dance, all these kinds of movements is something that will help the body set back into a state of homeostasis. Deep breathing, meditation, having a social circle of friends who feed positivity into you rather than just feeding into the negativity, the fear that constantly is projected onto us. All these things are going to help us reset our stress, reset our body into the homeostasis that it needs to maintain health. And this is where we should be going. This is how we should create less and less stress, or be able to manage the stress that we come across in our daily lives. We're never going to be able to just get rid of every condition that leads to difficulties. But if we can manage it better, we are going to create a much better health, a much better reproductive health for that matter, and a much better environment in our homes and in our families where we want to bring our children in. Maybe it's a time for a wake up call. I remember a story my father used to tell me, about an experiment where they put a frog into this large beaker of water and started increasing the temperature of the water little by little. It gave time for the frog to get adjusted to this increase in temperature little by little, accepting the changes till the time that the temperature increased so much that the frog was unable to just jump out of the water and take care of itself, and it died. And sometimes, if you just increase the temperature very rapidly, that is where it gives the stimulus for us to just jump out and start looking at what life does and what we can do to take care of us better. But every wake up call need not be disruptive. Maybe there can be days like this, days such as the International Stress Awareness Days. That becomes our wake up call. Maybe we can use these days to try and look into how we can decrease the stress in our lives. And all this that I have talked about, the nutrition, the deep breathing, the yoga, the meditation, it is not all mumbo jumbo. It really has a deep physiological basis. All these practices are going to stimulate the vagus nerve in your body, the main nerve which stimulates your parasympathetic system, which is the one which causes deep relaxation, which gets you out of the fight or the flight mode. These are the practices which are going to increase the endorphins and the good feel hormones in our body, and probably reset our body into a situation of health and into a situation where we can take care of our fertility. And that is because I would be talking more about fertility to you. So let us all come together, use a day like this to understand what we can do in order to deal much better with the stress in our lives. Maybe at the end of this talk, if we can take 5 minutes to just sit, close our eyes, feel very, very centered within ourselves, and do deep breathing for a couple of minutes, even then it would be able to bring our attention and awareness, because awareness is a key factor in order to bring about any change or transformation in our lives. This is Dr. Mamta Dighe, Director, Xenith Advanced Fertility Center, Pune. We are based in Wakad as well as Koregaon Park. And I'm signing off with this wish for all of us that we create the world that we want ourselves to live in, with bringing our awareness towards how we can create it into our lives and into our immediate families and then into our environments. Thank you so much for watching this, and I wish you all a lovely day.